Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Bernie here bringing you yet another video here on the charts. And today what we got to talk about is, of course, some Boston Celtics news. And before we get on to that, please remember to go and check out the new fixer-upper video that's going to be coming out tomorrow. It's going to be on the New York Knicks, and this is going to be a doozy. It's very well done. Me and Pete go in at it with the New York Knicks. We go over situations, we go over free agents that they should sign, and also other stuff like that. And of course, if you guys want to check it out, make sure to check it out for tomorrow. It will release on Thursday. Now, the thing we have to discuss today is, of course, Brad Stevens and the way that he's been excellently coaching this playoff series. They just won tonight against the 76ers and moving on to the Cavaliers, which is going to be a tough series in itself, but I know that the Cavaliers are probably going to win it in 5 to 6 games. But the main story that I want to talk about is not the game, even though it was a crazy game and it was nerve-wracking at times. The thing I want to talk about right now is the travesty, the mitigated gall, and the absolute stupidity among the coaches in the NBA. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Brad Stevens did not receive a single vote from any of his peers for the Coach of the Year. So this award is not the same one as the one that Drake hosts. It's a different award. This is the one that is voted on by your peers. So coaches like Popovich, Brett Brown, all these other coaches, they make the votes. And to see that Brad Stevens did not get one vote, I mean, I'm talking one vote, didn't get any votes at all, and it's an absolute wreck and travesty. These are, I'm gonna show you I'm gonna tell you the names and show you on the screen real quick. These are the list of the coaches that did get votes. Dwayne Casey's obviously gonna win it. I believe that he was the best coach of the year this year in the regular season, but these are the other guys. You have Brett Brown, obviously deserving of votes. Mike D'Antoni deserving of votes. Nate McMillan, you could say deserves some votes. Greg Popovich, I mean, this year is probably one of his weakest years, and it's not any fault of his own. It's on Kawhi Leonard, but at the same time, I'm not sure I would give him any votes. LA Clippers, Doc Rivers got votes. I know he won us a championship in 08, but come on, Doc. You know you didn't deserve any votes at all. The fact that he got votes is what pisses me off the most, is because Doc Rivers had the most talented team each and every year that the Clippers team was intact, with Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. And where did it get them? Not even to the conference finals. So how he got votes and how he got selected to this list by his peers is absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to move on to the other guys because I think these guys deserve some votes. Quinn Snyder, obviously a great coach, comes from the discipleship of Greg Popovich, did an excellent job, also a Mercer Island alum. Great job, great job. And also Terry Scott's, he did his thing. But going back to that, Brad Stevens didn't get any votes for Coach of the Year is absolutely ridiculous. First of all, he lost his star player in Gordon Hayward. One of the stars, I should say. He lost one of his stars. He lost another one pre-postseason. And then now it's like he's winning with these guys that are great. They're winning based on the coaching and staying within the system, just like Greg Popovich does with his teams and all that other stuff. Also Snyder, Brent Brown. I mean, there's other coaches that have done this as well. My thing is, though, as a Boston Celtics fan and also someone who appreciates the game of coaching, obviously I'm into coaching myself, how does Brad Stevens not get a vote? I mean, this, like I said in the beginning, this has to be the mitigated gall of the peers of the NBA Coaching Association. How does not one coach give Brad Stevens a vote? I know that the disciples will probably vote for Greg Popovich, and Greg Popovich will probably vote for one of the disciples. But you can't tell me that not one coach, not the Phoenix Suns coach, not the Bucks coach, not any of the Eastern Conference coaches that are in there coaching against Brad Stevens, you're telling me the guy that is the best out of timeouts coach that we've ever seen before in the NBA in the modern era, you're telling me that guy doesn't get a single vote? Come on. This is so petty. And Charles Barkley, I watched his post-game afterwards. He brought it up, and I completely 120,000% agree. These coaches are the most pettiest coaches I think I've ever seen. Just because Brad Stevens can coach circles around you and your inability to coach a team doesn't mean you have to take it out on him when he beats your team. When he beats your team, you can't take it out on him. I'm sorry. You have to recognize game. Game recognizes game, And how you don't recognize Brad Stevens' game and his coaching plan, and the fact that he's getting these guys that we've never even heard of, or at least you guys haven't even heard of if you're not a Boston Celtics fan. Scary Terry, Jason Tatum, who you got a lot out of, Jaylen Brown, who made tremendous strides this season shooting three-pointers. His free throw is a little shaky, but he made tremendous strides this season, and he's playing excellent in this Brad Stevens system. Baines is playing great. Thesis when he was playing, the kid from Germany, the rookie. You got Ojale, the SMU guy. I mean, this to me is just the absolutely worst thing that could happen. I understand that this is, it doesn't really mean anything because Brad Stevens himself said, hey, I'd rather receive the text messages because obviously Isaiah Thomas said something to Brad Stevens. He said, no way in hell Brad Stevens doesn't win Coach of the Year. No disrespect to the other head coaches, but he is by far the best coach in the NBA. And that's from a player that had some spite against Boston from the thing that Danny Ainge did to him. That to me is ridiculous. How the organization, like I said, Doc Rivers got votes. And this isn't even like the Doc Rivers of the Clippers team with Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Jordan. This is the Clippers team that got 9th place with a bunch of scrubs and DeAndre Jordan. And I love Montrezl Harrell, so I can't really disrespect him. But you're telling me that team and that coach, Doc Rivers, gets Coach of the Year. How? How in the hell does Doc Rivers get Coach of the Year? I'm sorry. I am sorry, but no, this is not okay. I understand that I'm probably going on a rant and I'm sounding ridiculous right now, but ask yourself this. Which coach would you rather have? Would you rather have the Brad Stevens who can make something out of nothing? Or would you rather have the Doc Rivers that needs more than 3 All-Stars to win at least a conference finals and eventually a championship because he did one with the big 3? This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys, but this video had to be made before the New York Knicks video, and that's obviously a video that me and Peter are proud to make. But I had to put this one out because this, to me, is an absolute travesty that a coach, the likes of Brad Stevens, doesn't get a single vote. Not one vote. Man, you coaches are so petty, man. That to me is like the ridiculous thing. How the coaches can be so petty that Brad Stevens kicks your butt every time that you coach against him. I'm sorry. I can't respect that. I can't respect the coaches out here. Obviously, I still would have voted Dwayne Casey Coach of the Year, and there's no argument about that. He had probably one of the greatest seasons in Raptors history, getting them to 59 wins, I believe. So, I understand that. Dwayne Casey obviously deserved Coach of the Year. But to me, Brad Stevens not getting 2nd place or 3rd place, or just a single vote. I'm just asking for 1 vote. How he doesn't get 1 vote to me is an absolute travesty, and I hope the coaches really look hard at themselves, really think about what they did, because they know they've done goofed. They goofed. Because there's no way that a coach that can coach circles around you, the best out-of-timeout coach, a coach that is carrying this team, I wouldn't say he's carrying them, but a coach having faith in these players to get them to the conference finals of the Eastern Conference when everyone picked Philadelphia, everyone picked Milwaukee to beat them. No, I can't. I can't right now with these coaches. It makes no sense to me why I have to make this video. This, to me, is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to make this video on Brad Stevens. Guys, Coach of the Year material. Guys should at least be in 2nd place for Coach of the Year. And I'm glad that he's taking the high road here because, to me, I probably would have held this against the NBA coaches. I probably would have been petty. I would have drawn plays. I would have told my players, you know what? I know we're already up by 10 and we are holding the ball in the last 4th quarter with 10 seconds left. I'd tell them just to go score it, just to show up the other coaches. Because to me, Brad Stevens not getting a Coach of the Year vote is an absolute travesty. And the NBA coaches, like I said, they need to look really hard at themselves and think about, wow, we really didn't give Brad Stevens a Coach of the Year vote. Anyway, guys, this has been your boy Bernie here on The Charge, giving you the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And I know I didn't really say that at first, but I was just too much in a rant right now. Please remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new, and also check out the New York Knicks video coming out tomorrow. It'll be a great video. Check it out. Anyway, guys, peace.